Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me again. Today is one of my favorite days of the week, Fabulous Friday / Self-Improvement Saturday. And I hope you're all doing well. And it was interesting, I had some great comments from you from last week's, and I hope that that worked out well for you. Just as a review, let's take a look. So far, in the last couple of weeks, you've taken a shower, you've finished a project, washed and changed your sheets, hopefully. You should have made a list of all of your assets. And remember, I'm not talking about portfolios, 401ks, property, all of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the ones that are really important. You know, things like your body, your family, your thoughts, your experiences, the things that you've done in your life, air, wow, spirit. Keep those assets handy. You may need those, and I'll tell you why later. Last night, after a crazy day at work and family and everything going on, I laid down in bed and I leaned over to my wife and I said, I have nothing planned for tomorrow. What am I going to do? And she said, do you have anything? And I said, well, I got a couple of thoughts. And she said, why don't you meditate on those thoughts and let them marinate inside your head tonight as you sleep? Wow, I wonder where she got that idea. So I did just that. And I woke up and here we go. So first, before we begin, a little fabulous news from around the world. So this is interesting. Amir Khan, and I probably butchered his name, is a fairly famous actor and filmmaker in India. So he donated thousands of bags of 1 kilogram, which is about 2.2 pounds of flour to poor people. So he broadcast this out and he said, hey, I'm going to have these bags. You can each come and take one. Well, the interesting about it is that since it was just 1 kilogram of flour, the poorest of the poor came to take it, which is what he had planned because he knew that the more wealthy people were not going to bother to come and take 2 pounds of flour. So what they didn't know is when they came and got one of these bags of flour, there was hidden inside 15,000 rupees, which is the equivalent of about $200, inside of each bag. So the money went to those who really needed it. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if he can get away with that twice, but it was a great thought and a great action on his part. Oh yeah, did you hear about Pakistan? Now this was interesting. They created over 63,000 jobs this past week for unemployed day laborers during this outbreak by relaunching the nation's most ambitious, they call it the 10 billion tree tsunami campaign. With thousands of ag workers facing unemployment while using protective practices, of course, face masks and planting trees 6 feet apart. Get this quote from the advisor to the Prime Minister. I thought this was interesting. This tragic crisis provided an opportunity and we grabbed it. Aslam told the news outlet, this is the quote, nurturing nature has come to the economic rescue of thousands of people, and all for a great cause. Oh my goodness, have you seen lately pictures of Earth? I mean, it's been interesting to see what's happening going on around the world with this shutdown. For the first time in 30 years, the Himalayan mountaintops can be seen as pollution plummets in India. They show pictures of the Himalayan mountains. They haven't seen them for 30 years. Crazy. And one of the main shipping ports in England, I don't know if you saw a picture of this, but look it up. Looks like a tropical island. I mean, it's clean, it's blue, green, clear. It looks like somebody sitting on a beach. The waters around the bay You know, I kind of think that maybe the earth also needed this shut down. It was a breath of fresh air as well. Which brings me to my marinating subject. Check out this awesome scripture. I'm going to read to you. This is in Proverbs 27:17, and this is what it says. It says, "Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." Interesting scripture. In Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, awesome book, suggest getting it someday, reading it. His last and final habit, number 7, his last and final habit, number 7, okay, is called what? It's called Sharpen the Saw. He said this, he said, "We must never become too busy sawing to take time to sharpen the saw." We must never become too busy sawing to take time to sharpen the saw. Dr. Stephen R. Covey. So here's a quite literal example of that, meaning to sharpen your saw. So I go up and cut firewood each year, usually if I'm lucky, with one of the toughest guys that I know on this planet. I won't mention his name, but it starts with Bill and it ends with Win. This guy has Popeye arms. I'm serious. Popeye arms. And is a master with a chainsaw. Never seen anybody run a chainsaw like he does. While I'm getting my saw out of the truck and trying to figure out how to run it, he's already cut down 3 dead trees and dropped them for us for firewood. And he makes it look so easy. You look at him and you go, "Oh yeah, that doesn't look that hard." And then I'm like struggling. But I'm sure that after 40 years plus in the woods falling trees, you figure out a few things. Number 1, have a sharp saw. You probably don't see him behind the scenes sitting in his shop at night before we go to get firewood, meticulously with his chain filing each and every single tooth. I don't know if you've seen a chainsaw, but it's just a chain and you file every single one of those teeth to make sure it's perfectly sharp. The angle has to be absolutely perfect, and not only he comes prepared with 2 or 3 extra chains or saws should he hit a rock or one of his saws breaks down. Without a sharp saw, you will work twice as hard and accomplish far less. Which brings me back to my scripture in Proverbs. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. What are we, you and I, doing to sharpen the countenance of our friends? Here's my ask for the weekend and for the week or for the day. I want you to renew an old friendship. Yep, I want you to make a list of some of the oldest friends that you have, some of the closest friendships that you have, and I want you to pick one that you have not talked to in years. And I know you all have one. I have one. I've got one on my list already, and I'll let you know how that goes. Now you're going to say to yourself, well, what the heck am I going to do I don't know what to say to them. Here's what you say. You dial their number. You don't think about it. You dial their number, and you say, "I was prompted to call you today. Tell me why." That's all you got to say. The rest will take care of itself. I am so grateful to have you with me, and I'm excited to hear about what happens with this challenge. And until tomorrow, be safe.